Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is what people are seeing and experiencing in everyday life when it comes to being of the prepared mind. And I get sent pictures, videos, and emails. And if you would like to send in something for a video, my email is in the description box below. So this first email comes in from a community member, and she said, "Hi there. For starters, Spectrum Internet and phone was out for about 14 hours. It went out at about 9 p.m. Monday night and was back on at 11 a.m. Tuesday morning. They said it was fiber optic line that was cut. Then they're saying that it was weather due to ice, etc. There's a map that I find interesting that shows out the outages. West Coast, East Coast, some parts of the South, and a couple of states in the Midwest. What I'm finding interesting is the Midwestern states were untouched. So, what's the real story? I realized something in Portland, Oregon can cause a wide outage due to weather. All we had here was fog and rain. Diesel shortage in Southern Oregon at the moment, regular gas shortage as well. Oh, geez. All the trucks trying to fill up before they hit the roads again. My store I work at, we get our deliveries from Eugene, Oregon, and we are behind on our deliveries due to the snow and the ice storms happening north of us in the state. The happenings here locally are barely the scratch on the surface of what a SHTF would look like. Thank you very much for this very informative email. Okay, so here is a link that was sent in by a community member, and it's 15 survival items you need to stock up on for a mainland attack. Thank you very much. So here's a link sent in from a community member. She said, "Hi, I just threw out my Quaker Harvest Crunch cereals, and now our frozen veg can now make us sick." And I have the link, and I'll put that in the description box below, okay? She said, "I don't know what the hell is going on. Something smells fishy. How can all these foods be contaminated?" Well, okay, remember, what was it? 2020, 2021, 2022. Remember when all of those food recalls, and then remember the baby formula recall, all of these food recalls. And then we found out what was really going on. Okay, well, now I think it's happening all over again. I think that they are stockpiling. But that's just my opinion, okay? And I'm no expert, but that's just my opinion. I think that they're stockpiling again. Okay, they stockpiled once, they waited a few years. Okay, well, now let's throw the recalls at them again because now we got to stockpile again. Okay, so take that for what it's worth and just consider it for maybe for just in case. Okay. She said, "I don't have the health to be able to do much gardening to grow my own produce. It concerns me that I will buy a bushel of something to can it up, and when I'm done, I hear of these recalls. What's a girl to do?" Believe me, I get it, but okay, you've been with me for years, okay, and what do I always say when it comes to these recalls? What do I always say? Take it with a grain of salt, do with it what you will, but it's always safety first, right? Because you know what those first round of recalls were actually going towards, right? So they were going for them. They weren't, it wasn't because it was contaminated. It was going towards a stockpile. Okay. So she said, "Oh, I know. We live on peanut butter cookies and pray the flour isn't recalled. Holy Hannah." Yeah, I know. I get it. I 100% get it. I know exactly where you're coming from. That's why, you just have to just take things with a grain of salt when it comes to stuff like this. You really do. So here is an email with some pictures sent in by a community member. She said, "My mom and she lives in Florida and I'm in Illinois. She says she can't grow anything. Last year I went down and I planted a garden for her, showing her how to plant and take care of things. She is still getting green peppers." Oh, awesome. Well, she now wanted onions, so I told her about cutting off the bottom, put in the fridge, and forget about it. Well, that was 2 months ago. We did at the same time. I totally forgot it was in the fridge door until today. Oops. My mom said, "See, you can grow anything in the middle of winter without even trying." So I just planted it in the soil. These pictures are amazing, sweetheart. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, what you're doing. And yeah, you can, I like to regrow. One of my favorite things to regrow are green onions, romaine lettuce, any kind of lettuce really, but romaine lettuce and green onions, they're my favorite things to regrow. Yeah. Okay, so here's a link for a video for you, and it says fire heat should melt snow, but it doesn't. What? What's going on? What's going on? And here's another link. Phony Rona dissidents, beware the Dream Team narrative police. Be ready. Okay. And then here's another link for the Sons of Enos, Enos. And then another one that says, we uncovered a secret housing operation. Oh dear Lord. And now for a commercial break. Okay, so this was sent in by a community member, and I will leave the link in the description box below. And it says the U.S. just expanded its territory by 1,000,000 square kilometers. In a historic move, the United States has officially expanded its geographical territory by 1,000,000 square kilometers, an area nearly 60% the size of Alaska. The catalyst for its territory expansion lies in the redefinition of the U.S. continental shelf boundaries. By invoking international law, the State Department has outlined new areas under the sea where the continental shelf, a seabed area surrounding large land masses with relatively shallow waters, extends further than previously recognized. This monumental addition is spread across 7 district ocean regions, with over half of the new territory located in the Arctic. The concept of the ECS is pivotal in understanding this expansion. Under international law, coastal nations can claim these extended shelves along with the right to manage and exploit their resources. With this territory expansion move, the U.S. joins over 75 countries that have defined their ECS limits, which extend beyond 200 nautical miles from their coast. The journey to this announcement began in 2003, involving a multi-agency collaboration led by the U.S. State Department, NOAA, and the U.S. Geological Survey. The mission was to gather comprehensive geological data to determine the outer limits of the U.S. continental shelf. The extensive effort ended on December 19th, 2023, with the State Department revealing that the new geographic coordinates that mark the U.S. ECS. Okay, so I'm going to leave that link in the description box below so you guys can read the rest of that article, okay? And I'm going to leave another link in the description box below because I think that this is something that's very important, because a lot of us, we shop at secondhand stores, thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Army, right? Well, has anyone ever actually read the reviews on, say, Goodwill, right? Well, this community member, she found a website, and this website is for reviews for Goodwill. And she said, this is really deplorable. I wonder about other thrift stores. I wanted to share this with you. Well, I thank you for sharing this with us, because so many of us shop at thrift stores. And it's Consumer Affairs, okay, website. And I'll read you some of the reviews, okay? So this first review, and I just picked, the reviews start and they just go down the page. So it's the first review on the page. It says, I have been shopping at Goodwill in my area for many years, and in the last year, I could see that I am now wasting my time walking into any of the stores. The prices have increased significantly and the quality has decreased significantly. I yearn for the old days when I could find great items for a reasonable amount of money. I used to come home with bags of items. Today, I shopped for 3 different Goodwills and came home with nothing. The next one says, I used to go to Goodwill all the time to find cheap, wearable, fashionable clothing. But after the last time I went in, I'm slowly realizing that they are price gouging people. I agree. and no one is saying anything about it. Everything they have is supposed to be donated, yet on their site they're asking for 1,000 plus for a Versace shirt. Now, who in God's name can afford that? Nobody. Especially if we're shopping at thrift stores, we obviously cannot afford to pay over $1,000 for a shirt. Okay, if we wanted to buy a Versace shirt, okay, I mean, we're going to go to Versace because obviously we can afford to buy Versace. You know what I mean? So she said, I went into the Kirksville, Missouri store and was about to buy a pair of house shoes when a lady came back with a price of almost $20 for a secondhand item. I walked out saying, I'm not going to use that word. I'll never go back there. This is highway robbery at this time. The next one says, they don't do returns for cash back, but I can get store credit. Yet when I asked the lady if they did returns, she said yes, but didn't state for not cash back, only for in-store credit. The manager at the store stopped someone at the front door for accusing them of stealing. She was very rude. Finally, let the person go whilst yelling at them until they were out of sight. After my merchandise was rang up, I realized my purchase came to over $100, and that's all I had on me at the time. So I asked if it was okay if I went and got the one and some change from my boyfriend, whom was outside in his truck and was parked in the front of the store right by the store entrance. The manager chimed in and said they were closed, as if I wasn't aware of that yet. I didn't have nothing to do with question at hand, and that's all she kept saying. So I took it upon myself to just walk out. This woman really goes on a rant. She said, leave my stuff at the register, go get the rest of my money, pay for my purchase. The manager just kept yelling at me that they were closed until one of the employees basically just said to let me go and let me do as I was, and brought her attention. They couldn't shut and lock the doors because I had left my stuff at the register. So I came back with the rest of my money, paid the lady, and the manager just stood at the register and continued glaring at me, saying something, and I just ignored her and I left. I refused to spend another dime at this overpriced, dishonest store. Goodwill is not so much of a goodwill. The store was meant for people who cannot afford to buy new items at retail stores, but were still in need. Therefore, they would come to Goodwill and pay money they could afford to buy an item they were in need of. This man is a millionaire. It's so true. And we continue to purchase items that you would pay way less for if you went and purchased them new at a retail store. We need to boycott Goodwill and remind this man why we all donated to him in the first place. I think he lost his God-given morals somewhere along the way to becoming a millionaire. Stop giving this store your donations and your money. They are not doing any of our communities any good, only showing greed and dishonesty. Disgusting behavior for any human that was supposedly out here trying to help others at some point along the way. World is in enough uproar to accept another human's disheartening ways of life anymore. Either we're all in this struggle together and here to help each other, or you're by yourself for yourself, and then you're on your own without help you would get if you were right about your ways in life. And the store doesn't deserve the help from the people anymore. They have gone far above themselves and are just straight greedy people now. So sad companies like this end up as they do. And she's right. She's so right. Okay, the link will be in the description box below. So here's one more link, 6 preps to stockpile immediately before the mainland attack on U.S. soil. Okay, so here is a email from a community member. And she said, how's the family? Oh, we're doing good, thank you. She said, congrats on the future baby girl coming. Thank you. It is so very exciting. How's mom doing? She's doing okay. She's doing okay. Yeah, she is 17 and a half weeks along. Yeah. So we just got the car seat. Andrew just ordered the stroller. I had to think of the word stroller. And we're starting to stockpile on diapers, wipes. I said, I told you guys mom's going to breastfeed. So we have to wait and to see if we're going to be doing anything like with formula and whatnot. But first we have to see if baby's going to be colicky or not. Um, I'm you know, going to be doing my recipes for homemade baby food because I'm going to start pressure canning baby food. Um, I've already started water bath canning juice for baby and things like that. So yeah, we are slowly but surely preparing. We only have a few months left to go, but when my little cannoli gets here, we will be ready and waiting. Yeah. She said, wash machine finally get fixed. Girl, you know me, of course. In the past 2 days, I have done 12 loads of laundry. Yes, 12 loads. Okay. I got everything done. Everything done. She said, I'm sorry that that guy tried to pull a fast one on you, but that is exactly how they make more money. Oh, yeah, I know. But you know what? When you're dealing with somebody like me, okay, when you're dealing with somebody like me, all right, who not only, does research because first of all, that's my job, who does their own research, who is an avid reader, who would rather sit here and read a manual on a washing machine than watch TV. Okay. Yeah. Don't mess with her. Okay. Um, she said upcharge on parts and labor. Well, you know what? The one guy that I did have come out here to do that wiring job, he charged me $80. I can't dispute that because remember when I said that Samsung wanted to come out here, charge me $200 just to show up, then plus parts, then labor. I was like, come again? No. So, all in all, with all of the parts alone cost me $471. Okay. And then add on $80 for that one guy to do that wiring job because that's the one thing I won't mess with is wires. Right. But if I would have allowed Samsung to do it, they were going to charge me over $1,000. Yeah. So did I save myself money? Yes, I did. Would it have cost me less to go buy a new washing machine? No, it would not have not. But you know, I now know the ins and outs of that washing machine. So if anything goes down again, I know what to do, you know. So she said, if you can get the parts before they come, it does save you a lot of money. Oh, yeah, especially with the place that I found, that genuine replacementparts.com. It's like 2-day delivery. And because they're so close, I literally got it overnight. you know so she said also, time, you did the right thing, and that is why you can never learn too much. Exactly, that's why I do what I do, and I research, and I just sit and I read and I read and I read. She said, always something new every day, but especially us women, we have to be educated on every area because times may be weird. Yeah, I know, but you know what, my husband's really awesome when it comes to that kind of stuff, and so is my son. Remember, Andrew was, when he was in the Marines, he was an engineer. You know what I mean? So I got the best of both worlds over here. So she said, it doesn't change men's opinions on us understanding how machines work or cost. No, but it was, especially if it's a stranger coming into the house, like a repairman, they just see a housewife and they're like, oh, yeah, and it's like, oh, you don't know me, it's one of those. She said, they still think we can only focus on a few subjects. Oh, yeah, 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 oh, yeah. Anyway, she said it's not true, but you still find those tricks. Good for you showing him exactly what he was dealing with. A real sharp woman. Makes no sense to spend more than you have to. She said, I checked on Florida again. Here is the next step of people in our state losing their jobs. Hopefully, this will help someone have time to find a new one fast. What is weird is a lot of this is waste management. Oh, our trash guys are losing their jobs? Are you kidding? I would have thought they would be safe. Goodness knows how many people can't handle that job. Well, we have Waste Management, and then we have another company called Republic. So, okay. So let's see. Well, they go by Lost Boys Interactive LLC. What? But okay, so it's Waste Management. Waste Management. So if you know anybody that's working for Waste Management, they're going to be losing their jobs. Blech. Fantastic. What a joke. No kidding. All right, and she also put in some commercial breaks, so here you go. Okay, guys, before I end this video, here are some really awesome videos that were sent in by community members that have been deconstructed and reconstructed by yours truly. Okay, I will see you guys in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.
According to the CIA, the total amount of fraud money is $80 trillion.
And cash was $2 trillion.
2 trillion of that.
So 1.9 trillion is actual cash, and all the rest of it is just bull. Doesn't exist. There's not a vault you can go in like a fucking guy.
We're at war with a country, and then they have the best hackers, or whatever. This is all hypothetical, but you go to swipe your card and it doesn't work, and then everybody in America goes to swipe their card
and it doesn't work.
Whenever the credit cards fail, whenever your cards fail, whenever your banks fail, and you can't use your fucking card anymore, you have 3 days to get out of where you are, because that's when they're coming for you. That's the big move. That's checkmate right there. And they think they have you. But move out to the country, get your scraps, stand up for yourself, build a tower, build a long road to where you can see them coming. Don't give up. America.
Alexa, when will World War III start?
World War III will commence on March 1st, 2024. There are 3 United States and within by activating Soviet secret laws. This will be followed by full military invasion on Gulf coast by Russia and China. The attack will be devastating and incorporate lessons into the first by mankind. Humanity, as we know it, will be forever changed when we return to its former level to the public terminology of unfold.
When was the last time that we had states who were removing presidential candidate from the ballot?
Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you. What did that result in?
Civil War.
Civil War. This is not a joke anymore. We cannot take things like this lightly, because we have specific examples in the history of our nation that we can look at, and then we can watch the result of that. We can look at that in history, and let me tell you right now, man, you don't want that, man.